Hey everybody, welcome back to Captain of Industry. We're going to get started today by finishing off the ethanol workflow. We've got the corn mash is all being made here. Goes into this tank and eventually makes its way, over into these buildings once they're built. We've also got this tank full now of cooking oil, which we're making from the canola. So now all this stuff is going to start getting backed up. So it's now ready to just start getting this chemical plant to work. So ethanol is what's needed. We're going to get these structures here built, hopefully as quickly as possible. We'll do at least 2 of them. And then we need to get them hooked up how they need to be hooked up. So you can see that we actually have a little bit of a difference here. You might have noticed that these things are actually input on this side and the outputs are on this side. And that's intentional. We're going to have the outputs take the ethanol over top of this pipe and bring it over here like that. So it all goes over top of that. So what I think I'd want to do is the ethanol, right, is going to be on this tier 2 pipe here. And it's just going to go this way. Okay. And it's going to stretch at least this far. So what I want to do is I think I actually need to go, one more over and then down. About like that. So we're going to need to get these to be this low at least. And it seems to me like that's not quite going to happen. So I could go one more just to make them straight pipes. So I think I will. So we'll go ahead and move these over to where they're right in position like this. Or wait, no, one more back, right? Yeah. We'll just do it so it's straight. It's fine. Up like this. And so the pipe will then go into there. They've made updates and stuff to the game since the last time we played, which I took a little break from the game to get some content done with Cartel Tycoon and just sort of like mental health things. Kind of needed to take care of some stuff around the house too. So lots of stuff happening around my life. So we're just, for those of you who didn't know, my wife and I are gonna have another baby, and we're 8 months pregnant basically, and so there's lots of last minute stuff that I need to get done around the house and stuff. So like content's kind of slowing in anticipation for that. So we have this corn mash is gonna go in here. We need to add oxygen to this. So for the oxygen, I was considering doing it here, but I was also thinking it might be useful to have more, be able to put more chemical plants, but I could always go this direction with them instead. So I think the oxygen being here is a fine thing to have happen. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's flip this over, and I think I kind of just want to nestle it in right here. I think that'll be fine. And so we end up with a pipe that takes it this direction, raises it up to level 2, I guess. And then we can go about like that with it. I'm satisfied with this. Doesn't bother me none. And then we'll take the smokestack and just attach it right here to get rid of the nitrogen. So this is going to constantly provide oxygen for the fermenting tanks. But only, of course, when they need it. We don't need it, then we don't need it. So we'll end up having it be like this with the corn mash, and this is going to take just 9 every 60 seconds. So these level 1 pipes and everything are more than sufficient for like everything we're doing here, just in case anyone was curious. I know how curious you are. Very curious. At least I tell myself that you're very curious. Put you in there, and then we'll bring this down like that and down like that. Okay, so that takes care of the setup. So now we just have to wait for the trucks to bring the parts, and then we'll have that done. I could do Unity building, but I'm a little bit low on Unity, and that's because I've been kind of low on water. Now over here, you're going to see that we're actually low food supply. That's talking about this, and a little bit of that has to do with the fact that we're not necessarily delivering enough food out of these 2 fields to satisfy our growing population that's over here. So I'm going to get another field up and running. That's just about kicking the button, basically. That'll get growing. We obviously won't get any food out of that yet, but we're going to eventually get food out of it. And so by the time we get food out of it, these belts will be done. And it'll just feed it into the same sort of tanks and stuff that I can already do it. I'll just do it now. You're doing what field first? Vegetables. So that means I need the flat conveyor done first. I just can't click it. Come on. There it is. We'll get the flat conveyor done. Once I have enough rubber, which rubber being low is actually kind of a concern, isn't it? Come over here really quick. Take a look at rubber. Where is it? Rubber? Where are you? No. You are very full. Why can I not use it? Oh, it's not a rubber shortage. Honestly, I'm out of it. It's not a rubber shortage. It's a Unity shortage. It's still a Unity shortage. So I just need to get more Unity, and a lot of that's mostly just like, for me anyway, it's just timing, like waiting for it to be full. But this will provide enough food now. That second field, or sorry, that third field will be enough to keep this stuff running, keep this stuff going. So I'm in on that. Let's turn exports off on these because we definitely don't need that to ever happen. Okay, so we need to get that finished up. So ethanol is going to start running. Once that runs, we'll have ethanol turn into fuel, and then diesel will be available right here for all the trucks to tap into. So it'll just start running all on its own. Let's take a look at water. So we've got this port set up now, and delivering fuel is a little bit of a problem, but we do have water being delivered to these tanks now, which is kind of nice. So what we'll do is we're going to get... I need to make sure that the trucks can always get here. And so I think what I'm going to do here, just to make sure, is I'm going to put a ramp in, I think, right here. And this is just going to make sure, again, that the trucks can always go across this. And then we'll take... I'm not sure what the delivery speed is on this, but I can just combine everything into a single red pipe. I'm sure that won't be a problem. So we'll just take a single red pipe, go this way, and then it basically just connects like this. Pop it right into there, and then upgrade this. And that will feed all the water from this port directly into this tank so that these things don't, kill us, because we're basically at the mercy of groundwater at the moment. I can't afford to boost that, can I? I might be able to if I go to the captain's office really quick. Let me just see what we're doing here. We got plenty of food. Household goods. Can I afford to raise this up? The storage is keeping up with supply. That's good. Current settlement need is 79. Pretty sure this goes over 100 if I do this, but we'll see. Like that. And this goes to 103. Can we have support 103? I don't believe we can do that without boosting, but I think with boosting we can, and I think that's a net positive result. But if we want to sort of just do it temporarily, again, we have a lot in storage, so we can tap into that and get extra Unity for it. And that might help us with Unity for a little while. The rain is, of course, helping us with water as well. So I want to do these. I really want to get up to do these. I'm trying to avoid using water saver because I'd like to reach water stability without that edict. I want to balance things so that I have stability without water saver. And that's part of the reason why we're going for this the ship route and stuff on this. So I think we can probably get away with just kind of going... Let's go out like this. Connect here. Connect here. Connect like this. Or if I wanted it to be, if I didn't care about the balancer, the power, which I guess I kind of don't, I could just put a balancer in here instead and then just connect everything with their own single pipe, which might look cleaner, might work better. I don't really know if it works better, but it's just going to work anyway, so whatever. Nope, that's not how I want that at all. Here, I'll put it on this side. And then we'll go up and out like that. Okay. Now everything can just get pushed through. Not that pipe. This pipe. Like this. There we go. And now we'll have everything when we have the Unity to do so, which there's a little bit here, I guess. We could maybe hit it a little bit. I don't think we can do this pipe though, can we? Yep. And everything's connected. Yep, there it is. Okay, so water's gonna start getting fed into the fields. This is fantastic news. We're not getting fuel very well though. That's a problem. Now I'm wondering if I could get away with sending fuel from this situation and sending that over, but I'm not sure. We are constantly making fuel gas here, but remember the priority is to this tank, and you can see that this tank, oh, it's allowing exports. Ooh, no, we're not. That's the reason why you're going down. I was trying to figure out why the hell that was going down. I made it differently. Okay, no exports on that. Okay, so this should fill up, and once that fills up, then we make fuel, and then I'm hoping that maybe I can get them to take the fuel supply and to bring it over here. Just with the truck, of course, but if I can get them to bring that over here, it'd be nice. In the meantime, I'm going to go with, like, I think P2 on the water, and maybe we'll go ahead and assign a truck to it. The problem is you need to have fuel to do this, and there is no fuel in here, and it's because they're no longer delivering it. It's this mixture and route, right? It's saying that I want you to bring it in and then export it, and none of that's working very well. So I just need to tell them to only import and to keep full and to turn exports off. That's the only thing I can do with this to make that happen. Now they'll go off and get the diesel that they're supposed to get. So we just need the trucks basically to bring it to this, and I guess not having a route is more effective than having a route, I guess. We'll see. I'm hoping that this turns into a fuel truck. It just goes off and gets the fuel, but it doesn't look like it's going to do that. So I may need to actually take that truck away. I don't know. They've changed how things work several times in various different updates. I think they've made it now to where this will work, but I don't know that. So I'll follow this truck and see. It looks like he's going clear over here for it, which is terrible. Why in the world would you do that? There's fuel right here. If you don't specifically designate... Yeah, I'm unassigning you. You're not assigned to that route anymore. If you don't specifically designate where to get it from, they seem to just... They just path very strangely. I don't like how they path. They're going way over there to get it when there's so much fuel right here to just grab. Maybe I can do that. Hey, maybe that's the idea. Just add another tank to this entire network flow and tell it to go here. Maybe that's the answer. That's the answer that I seek. And then we can just go ahead and add another truck to this route, I guess. Hopefully they just pull it in and take it over where it needs to go. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's come back over here really quick. All right, so we've got ethanol. Yep, fuel is being made now. Beautiful. So this whole workflow is happening. Now what I want to see is whether or not we're making ethanol fast enough and whether I need this third one or not. I'm not sure I need the third one yet. Now, we have no spare tank for the ethanol, and that's probably something we should look into. I did it again, guys. Probably something I should do right away. So now that I get probably to here. We're going to put a tank in. And we'll sit it, I don't know, probably right here is fine. We're never going to have that much ethanol, I wouldn't think. I mean, if we do, then great, but I don't think so. And then we'll take this pipe and yeah, right from there and then just down in. Okay. That'll be the ethanol storage. And we should start seeing it fill up pretty quick here as soon as the stuff goes through here. Oh, carbon dioxide's a problem, yeah. Now, they're not producing very much of it. It's 9 every 60 seconds. So it's not a huge deal. So what I can do, because it's not that much, I'll just do a single stack. And we'll place a single stack right here. And then we'll just have the exhaust go underneath and connect. And then like this. All right, let's load this up, build these, and get that going so that the ethanol can proceed. Okay. I need to see the low food supply thing go away. I was actually thinking about upgrading these to add more people. So I only have 42 workers, but I need to see the food. I mean, this is starting to get stored. Yeah, potatoes aren't full yet though. They're moving through. So yeah, we should start seeing this go up here, I hope. Is it possible for me to separate these settlements so I can see which one is which? Although if I come over here, is it possible that it's this one? I would find that to be nearly impossible that it's this one. There's almost no chance it's this one. It's got to be the one over there, so fine. Water tanks are full. That's a great sign. Look at that, huh? Now it's just a matter of getting fuel in here. The boat is gone, so we will get more water shipped in here. That's very good. Okay, so now we're going to be able to use the water resources on the map to get our water. And the groundwater is infinite. There's no limit to that, which is fantastic. Now, what we do need to do is upgrade this so that the boat can constantly come and go out and do it. I think I would like to do that. So I'm going to probably prompt this, but before I do that, I want to make sure other resources are good too. And I'm thinking the coal mine needs to be activated before we do anything else. And so I'd like to go ahead and deliver materials. And that should get our boat leaving with those extra 100 construction parts. And it should be going out there and delivering that so that the coal doesn't have to slow down, because our coal supply was strained for quite a bit, and it still is. So we're going to need to bring more coal in. These guys are off doing nothing because they finished this, which is good because I think I can now put my nuclear port in here. Remember, we're doing nuclear power over here. But I still want this to be cleared. I'm going to build the port, but I still want this to be cleared. I need this to be... I would think probably all the way to this line. I think we'll make a straight line on this cliff. At +3, just make everything +3 in this cliff area is kind of what I want to do. So we're going to edit the area to be this instead. You guys can get to work on doing that. That's also bringing in the rock and stuff that we need for the filter media, because without these guys doing that, I don't think I'll ever need to use the rock on... Using rock on the map just doesn't make sense to me. I have a lot of rock here, so that's fine. Let's put in another port. And I don't think I'm going to need a really big one. The amount of uranium I'm going to need to bring in, I don't think I'll need another one. But the difference in resource cost, it is almost double to build this one. I don't know, I'm hesitant to actually put in a really big one. I think just a small one would be fine. Also trying to figure out why it's not allowing this. It doesn't have to be flat. Some part needs to be in the ocean. Apparently it does need to be flat. Okay, so I need to flatten it. So let's take our flattening tool here. We're just going to make sure that this is an even coastline from here. I think from here is fine. It's probably because of this little bit here. Kind of, you know, which that might happen anyway as we fill it in, but we'll see how it goes. We'll just have all of this filled in, and then let's clean up the interface a little bit here, just so we have what's already been done off the table here. And you know, they're doing the rocks right here. They're managing the rocks right here, and so they should just be moving the rock material from the land that they're already digging and just putting it right here. It's within the range of this tower, so I think that's why these guys are going to prioritize that. So in other words, should be filled in really quickly. Shouldn't have too much time and too much effort there. And we'll just kind of level it off there too. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it won't matter, but we'll do it anyway. Interestingly, on the map, we discovered that there are 2 settlements right next to each other. Kind of interesting. Can't get there. I don't have enough fuel. However, I do have enough fuel to get to this one. And so I'm going to tell it to explore that one because we can get there. But the coal mine is set up and ready to rock now. And so with that done, I can, if I need to, expand on this. I'm not sure I do. 720 water is there already. And we are not quite emptied here. What's going on? Hold on. How come you're not emptying? Are you full? No, not full. Although placing a giant water tank right here would be kind of a cool idea, wouldn't it? I think it could be kind of expanding that. I originally built this easy to expand by just allowing me to have more tanks, bang, bang, bang. But now that I've placed all these pipes here, it's a little more complicated, but not really, I guess. But originally that was the intention, to just allow me to put a row of tanks to expand that storage. I'm a little bit confused as to why you're not emptying. Oh, wait, it's this. Yep, it's that. This is full. So now we can suck it out of the boat. The pipe was reversed. So there we go. So now the matter is to make sure that the water that's being provided for these fields is coming from the boat. So the direction of the pipes, basically, I want to make sure that we are providing that. So right here, this water is coming from the other side of the island. Okay, I can switch that, toggle that direction, and that guarantees that these two fields are being fed water from the boat, or rather from these tanks, which is a pretty good increase in water consumption there. But I can get more by going like this, toggling that direction, and now I'm also providing water for this, and water potentially sharing the load for these two fields here too. So we're going to start with that for our water expansion and see if anything else is needed. I'm hoping not. I'm also noticing a shortage coming up. I don't believe it's a shortage in water, no. But there's just no extra corn at all here. And I'm wondering if that has to do with fertilizer, but it doesn't. It's just they're kicking out wheat. I get that, but I'm not seeing a whole lot for corn coming through here. One thing I could do is just, of course, remove the priority, and then everything just goes half and half, which is a way of constantly having ethanol for medical supplies. I'm not sure it's particularly needed to have constant for medical supplies right now because we're pretty full, and I'm not growing my population over here anymore. So the medical, well, yeah, I guess it is. We've been without ethanol for quite a while, so I guess so. Yeah, we have no spare storage, so we will need that to happen. We will need additional ethanol to happen. So I'm going to let this be half and half for a while. And I'm hoping that these fields will kick out even more product, because that's... yeah, with more water being possible now, I think probably upgrading the fields is now more doable too. So maybe, why don't we go ahead and upgrade this greenhouse as well? And that puts all 5 of these frontline corn greenhouses are now max level. We could probably also get these ones going too. Fertilizer's up, water is looking decent, although water is still strained on this side, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to limit how much water we're pulling in from over here. So by bringing it in on the boat, I'm hoping that, by providing the fields with more water on that side, I remove the strain that's on this system, and hopefully that tank can fill up. But so far, not so much. These fields are really pulling the water. The only way I can provide water for these fields and guarantee it on that side is to switch the direction of this pipe. And if I do that, then I might as well switch the direction all the way out to here. So I guess we do that. I will switch this pipe. We'll toggle direction on that one and this one. And then I also need to toggle it on this. Nope, that's already toggled. Yep. So now the water from... right? I'm correct on that, yeah? Yeah, because it's coming through here. The water from the boat can now reach all the way over to here. But the draw that's being pulled, the demand on that side is so great that you have to upgrade these pipes. There's just no way I can't push the water fast enough through here without, increasing my pipes here. So I'm going to take, at least to this pipe here, I need to have a lot more water flowing through here. So I have 165 red parts. And I think we're going to take to upgrading this pipe first. Then the one behind that. Then the one behind that. And then the one behind that. And this goes all the way over to here. And this one goes like that. Okay, and then finally we get into this area. And we have two. There's a red pipe that kind of merges. Like both of these basically merge together and they end up weighting. And we don't want that. So we're also going to upgrade this one and this one. And that's going to let the water really flow out of these tanks. And move all the way out this way. Under the bridge. And meet up here. And then I think we'll actually go ahead and do the same thing here with this one. And finally with this one. And then that will be it. So we're really, really cranking it. 11 months food supply over here. I gotta increase this. It is slowly going up. I'm noticing that. But it needs to be greater. We need to have more. And so it's time to turn on another field. And I think it's going to be this one. And then what we'll do is we need to get this all hooked up with belts as well. So we'll say that the conveyor, the U-shaped conveyor, yep, for you will go up and in like that. And then the flat conveyor hooks in right here. And now all that's needed is to hook it up to water, which is all on this side. So the water from here, we bring you this direction. And we're going to lift you up. I don't want to block trucks. I'm trying not to block trucks. Yeah, why don't we just do this? We can send you up high. I like this better, actually. We'll send you up high. And then... no. Well, okay. I kind of wanted it to be right alongside, but... I mean, it's close enough, right? It's fine. It's close enough. We'll bring you down at this point. I could probably do it over at this point anyway, but if I guess it doesn't matter. Bring it over from here. This is fine. Okay, so you're going to hook up here. That's going to provide water to this field too. Now, I do have to make sure I'm not straining my water supply, of course, right? Because this is not full. So if the village is pulling too much water, which is what this tank is like an intermediary, right? I need another one. But this tank provides here, but it also provides to the fields and also all the way over in this area. So we're also going down here and reinforcing this area where the rainwater with that groundwater up here. And so now it's just a matter of needing steam. And we are producing fluid or fuel here. If we have extra ethanol, which I am secretly hoping we're making extra ethanol, and it does look as though we are doing that. I don't know how much extra we can afford to make, but so far I'm seeing the corn mash tank is still full. And the oxygen supply is going to be full without 3 of these. So I guess, yeah, since the corn mash is still full, we can afford to make more ethanol than we currently are. And that would mean that we can support having the extra ethanol from here. So what I'm planning to do over here is I want to get one of these boilers, this boiler gas. So I'm actually planning on taking the extra ethanol and we'll boil that with water to make steam. The 48 steam will then come over here, and it will basically power 3 of these. And we'll end up with a lot more water as a result of that. 48 times 3 on the water that we're going to end up receiving. And then that water goes back into this tank. So the extra ethanol doesn't need to fire all the time. It's just going to fire once we're over the limit, once we're full. So since that's possible, I've now confirmed that that's possible. Here's what we can do. We'll take and get a balancer to be here. I'm going to put a pipe balancer right here. Feed this into here. No. No, that's not how this works. The balancer needs to be before this. Yeah, balancer needs to go before the tank. We'll put a pipe balancer in right here. Hopefully the game allows me to connect to this with this pipe. That's fine. All right, so we'll connect this, that, and then rebuild this. You know, let's actually make a second tank. I just don't see any way that we're going to be... No, we're not going to have any extra. I need to make a lot more ethanol if I'm going to have any extra for this. All right, we don't have any unity now. What's going on? Am I out of household goods? No. Consumer electronics, household goods. I'm not out of water. So what gives? Unity gains. What gives? It's not pollution. Unity, we're losing 16.1 and we're gaining 16.8. So what gives? I think household goods is starting to starting to lack, and so is food. A little bit. The scale of the game, man, it's massive. There's just so much going on at once, and I think this actually gets improved a bit if I get my worker count up, which that's what I've been trying to do this whole time, is get more food over here and be able to support more food, and by doing so, you know, be able to grow the population. That was the entire point of this. So I'm gonna hit this, and now I can get more people here. I don't know if this town is gonna be any bigger than this right here. It's possible, but I kind of doubt it. The other thing we could do is create coal and then use coal to make steam, and we have lots of wood over here to do that. I actually have kind of an infinite wood supply on the map, so rather than doing this with ethanol, I could also bring in wood. It just requires another ship, which requires fuel, and thankfully we are making that fuel. It's right here, so that is possible to do. We're a little high up here. That's the problem. And so in order to get a dock, if I wanted to bring in wood, which now I'm thinking about it, I think that's probably the better option. So in order to get a dock here, though, it's got to be lower. I need it to be no higher than, I think this is the highest you can be with a dock. If I remember correctly. And so I need to get it to be down to +4 in this area. So there's a ways to go to get it down to that far. But we'll see what we can do. So we'll make this flat first, I think. And then we'll come down like this. And that's to 4 right there. So the dock would have to go kind of like here. And then the resources from that would have to be brought up from there. And it'd just be wood, you know? Which if I look at the map, I don't have a whole lot of wood left. I really hope. Look at this battle score, 990. Jesus. I really hope there's another ship on the map somewhere. Because I kind of need more ships. I don't want to keep giving them red parts to do it. So we have to upgrade the sawmill again. I was kind of avoiding doing. Well, maybe we wouldn't have to. Maybe we wouldn't have to. If I stop burning the wood for coal over here, because that's what I've been doing, right? If I stop doing that, the wood resources would kind of fill up. We could get wood transported via truck all the way up here. we don't need that much steam. It's just a little bit of steam. So maybe what's better is to have coal brought out of a new, like another tank, like right, we put another tank right here. I think so. It's pretty far away, but they could also just pull the coal out of this, but that's coming off of the boat anyway, right? Off of the coal supply. I want to make sure that the steam I'm generating over here for the water is coming from wood specifically. And the only way to really do that here without adding another boat is to make a wood storage right here, have this be the export route, and then essentially the coal is evenly distributed between going that way and going this way, and so that a portion of the coal ends up going into a separate tank, which could be reserved for going that direction. It would just need a large truck to haul it over to where it needs to be used, and that's doable, you know? I think that's doable. It's a little bit more fuel, but I mean, we're planning on using fuel for the boat anyway, so it's not more fuel than a boat. I wouldn't think anyway. Certainly less resources than a boat, right? If I just had one single large truck hauling that spare coal this direction, if I do it off of this source right here, then I guarantee that the coal coming off of the boat over here is not touched for this process. And if I really wanted to do it, I guess I could spend a little bit of extra money and have the tank be over here so that the truck doesn't have to drive as far. But it's kind of negligible when you consider that the power I'll be drawing off the belt to do this is also a little bit extra. So I could also, if I'm already going to do half and half, then I could just put the tank here. It's a little bit closer. I think so. I think we'll do that instead. It's a little bit simpler. It's just a tad bit closer, right? So if I'm already going to do half and half, then we can stick this right here. And then this belt goes, yeah, this way. If I ever had Unity to build it, that'd be nice. No Unity to build it. I need to start reducing something. Let's, well, let's reduce our farm yield, I guess. I'm already not getting enough, but whatever. And I think temporarily we'll reduce the recycling increase. That will give me what I need for Unity for a while. And then we'll deliver that, and this can just be coal, yeah. And we'll definitely have this be an export, and we want it sent to another tank that will be over here where we will create steam. So if we're going to create steam over here, then these can be located over here, or I can do it all right here, but then I still have to get it around this way. I don't know, like, I think bringing it in on the boat is still cleaner, right? Is it still better to do that? It's a lot of parts. It's extra labor. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's one of those things where you look at it and analyze it and go, yeah, you can get consistent supply from the boat, sure. But the cost that's involved in that is not worth it, in my opinion. And this settlement has some trade routes we can do too. I really want to get into these trade routes. And we can actually trade coal for gold ore. Diesel for gold ore. Diesel for quartz. We can trade gold for microchips. I want to get to the gold. The gold is so far away on this map. So there's other trade routes too. I kind of want to get into those trade routes and stuff as well. I know they're good. I just haven't done any of them yet, you know? Let's bring the boat back home. And honestly, I'd like to just dig this coal up and use that directly, but I got stuff over here. Everything is so spread out. Like, when you play this map, if you ever play this map, you're going to find out if you want to use everything, it's going to cost you a lot of fuel. Everything is very spread out. So I was trying to limit, you know, how much people are moving around as much as possible, but it's his fuel tank is empty. But he'll go over here and refill it. And then he goes back to work, right? That's what we were trying to go for. It's like giving them a place where they can have fuel over here so the trucks don't have to go all the way over there to get their fuel. But then they're going to go all the way over here anyway. See? We don't have a way to like locally control traffic. There needs to be a way to do something like this, the map this large, to actually use a map this large. There needs to be a way to restrict trucks to a certain area, you know, not allowing them to just go free roam, because this is a huge waste of fuel. It's just it's enormous waste of fuel. And I can't control what they're going to do unless I assign them to a building, and not every vehicle is going to be assigned to a building all the time, you know? Now, for this, it makes a little bit sense because they needed to bring the components from over there in order to upgrade this housing. So like that part kind of makes sense, sure. And now the population can grow and get me those workers I need. But before that happens, I'm going to pull them off of the boat so that I have the workers here at home for a bit. See if I can control that. So this is the big question mark then. Do I take and have trucks bring that supply over to here, the coal from the wood that's happening over there, have it brought over here with a truck, which is fuel, but it's not as much fuel as a boat that brings it in, but the boat will bring in wood, not coal. So I would need more people over on this side to convert that to coal for the steam. And since I'm already set up over here doing that, I don't know if that's necessary. It might just be better to have one truck, 60 capacity, maybe two trucks with 60 capacity, just, you know, moving that stuff out like that. And then of course this is prioritized to go that way, which is what we wanted. And if I want it to go 50-50, then I have to make sure that we're bringing more, right? Ship is being unloaded right now. And I can also tell it to depart now. So available to pick up. They changed the interface, right? You can now see how much wood is available to pick up on the map from this screen and tell the ship to go get it even though it's not ready. So there's nothing here. There's really nothing stopping this. And if I tell it to go get it now, it will not wait anymore and go get more wood. So right now it's just waiting until it can bring back a full load. But 180 and 180, that's 360. So it's waiting for 640 wood to be here. And then once we have 640 wood available to pick up, that's when it leaves. And, you know, again, if I don't want it to wait for that, then I can click this button and send it right now. And it will just go get whatever's available, which by the time it gets there, as of already right now, 640. So if I want that to go faster, then I have to upgrade this, right? We have to have more people on the sawmill. I think I'm going to, because it's an infinite source of wood, and if I can get coal consistently into this tank, then I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. If I can get coal consistently into this tank, and the trucks can just bring it from here to there, and have two trucks that are constantly going back and forth, yeah, it's fuel, but it's not as much fuel, and it's also not as much labor, because I won't need to build these on the other side of the island. I won't need to have an extra crew on the frigate to go out and get things. The extra power, the extra maintenance. I can avoid all of that by just having two big trucks take this. I think that's as less elegant, maybe less convenient, but I think it's simpler enough. It's enough simpler enough. Whatever it is, it's more simple. It's good enough for me. We'll have 3 trucks on this actually, or two. 2 trucks for now. And they're just going to sit here and do nothing until they can. So we're going to increase how much wood we're sending on that ship. We need that coming in a lot faster than it is. Water's happening. It's waiting for a lot of water. 800 something water is what it's going to wait for. And still you are empty. Wow. Still not enough. So I can't afford to power all these fields with that one single water source. But look at you. See, you're full. So I can hold on. So now I have to balance this, right? That's what it is. It's trying to figure out how much water can we really afford to send. That's what it's all about. And so this, we can toggle it. This water is actually interesting because it's coming out of this pipe and it will go this direction. And when it goes this direction, it ends up all the way over here, right? So we should now be getting water sent over through here even faster, which eventually works its way to the people, which then also spare water eventually makes its way all the way back to the tanks. So there's a water cycle almost in this. Which isn't really that efficient, but when I built this, the intention was to send spare water from there to the other side. So it wasn't to make this pipe turn around, but now I'm going to do it. So now I'm going to toggle this water and get water to be fed this way. And I believe that will solve my problem. Oh, wait. No, hang on. You are facing the wrong direction, aren't you? No, you're coming from there. Okay. So like I said, I believe this solves my problem. And I believe that will allow this water to replenish itself once that boat comes back. I think. We'll see. There's a lot of little things to tweak in the game right now. There didn't need to be, I guess. I could have just like read a wiki and knew all the ratios and just been like, okay, guys, let me show you pro gameplay. But that's just not who I am. I don't care enough to do that kind of thing. I want to be the kind of person you can watch that... I don't want to say plays honestly because that's wrong. That's a really wrong way of saying it. But I play organically. I play naturally. How would a player who's experiencing the game as it is experience the game? And for those types of experiences, reading a wiki and looking at all the information externally outside the game, it takes the fun out of it for me. I don't particularly like playing that way. I'm not judging. I don't like to play that way myself. I will look at things every once in a while and try to figure it out mathematically by looking at various different formulas and all that stuff and looking at graphs and seeing what I need to do. I mean, I'll do that stuff. I don't necessarily do it on video. I do it off video a lot of times, but because I don't. When here's the summary. I like to create things that I want to watch. Put it that way. I like to create things that I like to watch. I don't like to watch people do math. I don't like to watch people mess with carefully constructing ratios and perfectly aligning buildings in symmetry with roads being completely straight. I don't like watching that stuff. I don't watch that kind of content. The only thing I can do is make things that I am proud of, that I like to do, right? Look at all this stuff. Look at all this coal just sitting here doing nothing. Maybe I should bring that. No, because that's the supply of coal from here. But we can get started with that. Bring it this way. If I was thinking ahead before, I would have put an underground pipe. I can do an above ground pipe, but I would have put an underground pipe all the way out this way and had it come out and pop out right here. That would have been very difficult to do, but I would have done it. Trash is still being dumped over here, getting our new, getting ready for our new shipyard, which I believe is going to be for oil, I believe. And then I don't know if they're still doing this or not. I'm giving them a lot of places to dump things, so they tend to dump things other places before they dump it here, because that's so far away. But yeah, this looks like it's done enough to build. Ooh, yep, done enough to build on, I think. So if I was to create another... I'll screw it. We'll do the big one. I don't want to ever have to replace it for any reason, so we'll do the big one. And I don't think actually that's not going to matter because look at the uranium. So the uranium's full right now, right? We have full storage, and we can probably decrease that to get more workers and stuff back. But we have full storage here. If we're able, at this rate, it's 12 every 60 minutes. It's 12 every 60 seconds, right? I don't know how much uranium we're going to need right now, but 12 out of 60 might not be enough. But the thing is, I can upgrade this twice before the other shipping yard is even needed. So I don't think we're going to need a bigger one. I should save the resources. It'll bite me later. I know it, but we'll do it. I'm going to put this right here, I think. Not interfering with that boat. Seems good. And, you know, if I do need to upgrade it later, there's plenty of space, right, to do that. So we're going to let them build this. And for the cargo depots, we want loose. So we want loose modules. And I can do L, but, you know, we're not upgrading it just yet. I can always upgrade these later. I'm going to put 4 L's on here. And we're going to tell them to import this from the uranium mine. And this is where we'll bring in the uranium for nuclear power. And I know I can do this. I just, you know, whatever. I'm me. So there we go. We have uranium. All that stuff's ready to go. I'll let them build this naturally. I don't need them to build it in a hurry because I don't have nuclear and stuff set up yet. But that's why this area needs to be flat. This is my nuclear area. And there's going to be water being pumped in right here. I do like how this is kind of caved in a little bit. I don't like how this comes out this far, but if I put things here, it won't matter. And this is out more, so I can get seawater pumps right here, and they shouldn't be in the way. And that's my belief anyway. I should be able to get seawater pumps here, for example. Basically right here would be one. And this one could be another one. Trying to get out of the way. 2. Maybe a bigger one can go here because there's this little dip. Or I can just fill it in and make it flat, which is probably better. But it doesn't interfere with these, and that's the important thing. I really only think I need 2 anyway. Let's make sure that this is flat. And we'll just kind of do it out to there. That's fine. Doesn't interfere with anything being there. Okay. So they're digging. Excellent. Let me let this run for just a little bit. And we should start seeing the water level out, I believe. Once this boat comes back, and it just did, we should start seeing the water level out. As these fields fill up and they get a full irrigation tank, they'll stop pulling the water from the irrigation system. This is now constantly feeding water out all the way over into this tank. Currently, it's feeding water into this tank, which is then propagating through this entire thing. And then it eventually works its way around here, too. And it'll always end up here as the end point to be distributed everywhere. So this is like our... After we have like 6 different reserve tanks all along the way, we eventually end up here at the final reserve tank where it's absolutely going to its final destination from this point. And so if I ever look at these and they're full, I know my water system is stable, basically. The only exception to that would be the now 5 fields that are managed by this area, which they're not critical fields, but they're very nice to have, and I do want to upgrade them. That's managed by this tank, and as long as this tank is full or not empty, then I know my water grid is fine. And that's how that works. Okay. Yeah, I so wish I could just do like an underground pipeline underneath the water to get over to this side. This is so far away. Like, I don't think people, some people have, like, you know, they've mentioned or criticized or whatever, whatever you want to call it, about like how much fuel I'm using. I don't think you properly appreciate just how far away this colony is from where fuel is being made. How far away this is from over here. I mean, you can't get there just a straight line. It is this far away. You have to go all the way around, all through here, all the way around, and then you're here. That is enormous. That's wider. That is a longer distance than any other map in this game, period, from end to end. You could take any other map in the whole game, go in a straight line from your east coast to your west coast, or your north coast to south coast, go in a straight line. This is a farther distance than that. It is very hard to keep up with fuel on this map, which is one of the reasons I've been trying to focus on it so much and struggling with it so much throughout this playthrough, because this map is enormous that way. It's just the way it is. So this is nice though, doesn't it? Nice, clean. This looks pretty good. I like this. I kind of want to get them to keep going with it. Yeah, keep going. Dive into this. So right now that's the ramp. Where's the ramp eventually going to be? Currently, there's another ramp here, which they can come out of. You know what? This is another project for another day. It doesn't matter. I'll fix that later. That's fine. Right now, I'm focusing on food, water stability, food stability, and getting nuclear started. And that's what we're up to here today. And then also delivering the 400 construction parts to increase wood, which is the other thing I'm doing too. So how much construction parts do we have in the boat right now? None. Okay. Start loading the ship. There it is. So we currently have 187 in storage. We are using a ton of them, and that's like, I just gotta ramp up production on that. But for me, I'm content with, hang on, these guys are complaining. Where are you trying to go? Really? You can't reach this anymore. You can't reach this. You're not supposed to reach this. Turn imports off. That's why. You're not supposed to reach this. By design, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to deliver it here. This is where you go, right here. Okay? None of these matter to you. Just that. Anyway, that's why I'm trying to get this side to be independent. I'm trying to get this side to have its own fuel, its own food, its own maintenance. Even I'm going to add maintenance buildings over here too to ramp up. And the cool thing about maintenance is it doesn't have to be delivered to any source. It's just island wide as is. So if I can make maintenance over here, it'd be good. But that requires me to get access to the coal and like the gold. Again, I don't think you fully appreciate how far away this gold is. You have to drive this. This is how far away it is. You want gold? This is how far you have to go. To where you are even remotely close to civilization. You have to go that far to use it, right? Or if I want to upgrade this, they have to deliver it all the way over here, right? It's enormous. And like, okay, sure, you can fill it in over here, but you know, it's super deep. There's a lot to fill in. And while you're trying to fill that in, you're using a ton of fuel trucking all that stuff over here. So if you ever play this map, fuel will be your number one thing. I'm very confident in that statement being true. Fuel will be your biggest struggle unless you don't use the whole map. You can opt to not use the whole map too. That's, you know, that's one way around it as well. Just decide not to. Or, you know, if you can move your port, which wasn't a thing when I started this series, mind you. So if you're watching this afterwards, wondering why I didn't do that, it wasn't a thing until very recently, as of recording this. You can move your main port. This. You can move this. You couldn't before. This was the stationary position. Now you're allowed to. So I could, and I do plan to. This is how I'm getting around it. Put the port over here. And that main port will end up being over here. And then we ship the gold out. We ship the coal. We can do whatever we want, bring things in, and then we bring it up into here, right? Or I could do it here. I could make the main port be right here instead, and then the boat will leave and go out and do whatever it wants. And this is a bit more centrally located between over here and over here. But I need names for these places. So I can stop saying over here, and I can start calling them by name. Tell you what, why don't you give me a name? Anyone who's watched this far into the video, give me a name. This town is named what? All right, I need a name for 3 things. Okay, 3 things. I'm in the comments right now. 3 things, okay? This needs a name. This is obviously our capital city. It's our big city. This needs a name. This area needs a name, I would say. And then this area needs a name. And then maybe if we're going to make another town, you could also throw something in for over here, right? I do have a mining tower built over here, but obviously nothing assigned that can actually do it. I can have, well, it's a long drive, but you could do this. I think I would like to instead edit this area to be here. Let's have them delivering the trash here now to make this ramp so it's not as long around. So we'll mark that for trash now. But if I can get this ramp made, then I have access to the gold, because I don't even have access to gold yet. I have to do that still. So, yeah. Okay, so there's still the question of whether or not you know, we're gonna get enough water in this area. It is full right now, so it's like a very intermittent thing. After a rain, we're doing good. You know, I may not even need it yet. We'll see. I do want to ramp up ethanol a lot here, but I do have extra ethanol. I definitely have extra ethanol, so I can afford to do this. We'll have even more fuel made here, and then maybe we just burn the fuel for advanced resources. I'm not opposed to it. We'll park this for now. I'm gonna think about that. What exactly am I gonna use this for? The plan was to use the ethanol to make steam, and then the steam would make more water. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I can. I don't know about the ratio. I need to actually look at the math behind that and see, can I afford that? Is that possible to do? And if it is, great. And if it's not, then I didn't waste my money on it. So I'll look at that before the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. I'm trying my best here, but life is going to continue to get in the way. Like I said, we're having another baby, and there's like 800 things on my to-do list around the house, and maybe if I bust my ass, I can get like 100 of them done. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Hey, real quick, I'm going to put this at the end of the video because I probably think this is like the #1 thing that will actually be said in the comments. The boiler parentheses coal actually does more than coal, and I had forgotten that. So I'm looking at it overhead here, and it says 72 animal feed can be used to make steam as well. And you know what? The animal feed's full. I got no use for it over here yet. I could use it to make all sorts of things, and I may. But another option, which I'm going to think about, I haven't decided yet, but another option is to just burn this. I don't know exactly how much we're making. I guess I could look at this and say 3, 6, 9, 12, and then this is another 8. So we're making 20 per month. And because we're making 20 per month, this takes 72 per month. So it's not a viable option for a long-term thing. But remember that the steam is going to be able to support, out of this 48 steam, it's going to be able to support 4 of these things. I might have said 3 earlier. I think I did. But it can support 4 of these things, right? So, like, if I only use 3, there's extra steam there. That delays the burn. There might be a way to balance this. I don't know. I'm going to look at it. But anyway, I wanted to put that at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.